back with another mother love. You already know the deal. Grab your smoke, grab your drink, and lock it with your boy. Grab some motherfucking eggnog, because this is a Christmas one. Now, in the spirit of this beautiful holiday, we finna scroll on over, baby. And we gonna see what's a crack-a-lackin'. Now, Kim Potter was found guilty on two manslaughter charges. We can look it up real quick. Quick go over that. There's a lot of people that was mad about that, upset about that, all kinds of shit. Now see, there's everybody named Mom was talking about, but I'm gonna go with a source that I don't think is a bullshit little source. New York Post. Now, you can think what you want. I'm not gonna say that this was a kangaroo court, nothing like that, because I think the judge did what the judge could do. Now, mistrial in these cases, man, I don't really know how you would assume or get that they're ever going to go through with that just because of what that could do in backlash to the city, versus a verdict, versus like if you completely throw the case. Now, if they did something that means the case needs to get thrown the fuck out because it's so heinous, whatever the fuck it is, then throw it out. But you can't preach mistrial or dismissal over very small things that the judge ain't going to throw it out over. You just want to say it just to say it. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I think happens in a lot of these cases. You know what I mean? Like, people brought it up in the Rittenhouse case. Like, do you really think that Judge Schroeder was ever going to let him dismiss that trial? I don't think so. Now, Judge Chu didn't really have much of a say, you know what I mean? The jury does their thing, and the jury was deadlocked, supposedly. Said they couldn't they weren't coming to a decision. They said, what if it's a hung jury, this, that, that. That's what the jury said. And then, 2 days later is Christmas weekend. The jury was sequestered, unlike in the Rittenhouse trial. So the jury's cooped up in their rooms, this, that, the other. They probably missed their family, don't want to miss the holiday. So it's probably easier to send someone away. In my eyes, it would be easier to get the person that's like, I think she shouldn't be going to jail, but I better side with the people that are going to say that she needs to go to jail because I'll never convince them of my side because they're never going to see my side. And I think that's what happened. I think I've always laughed when, they talk about jurors can't be biased. You think a person ain't going to lie on the stand? Especially in some of these high profile cases. It makes you a part of that history. It makes you a part of that decision. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm right, but I'm just saying with some common sense and some logic thrown in there, it looks really suspect, looks really coincidental that all these people decided all of a sudden, we're going to find her guilty. But you wasn't feeling that the way the other day. So what if this wasn't the Christmas weekend? Would you be feeling different, I guess, is the question. And I would venture to say it probably would have played out different. Now, the loser in that situation is Kim Potter. She played the game and you lost. Now, I'm not saying any plea deal, nothing like that was offered to was a good plea deal. I'm not saying none of that shit. All I'm saying is you played the game and you lost. That's sorry. Like, Kyle Rittenhouse played the same game and won. Ahmaud Arbery's three dudes that killed him played the game and lost. Derek Chauvin played the game, lost. You know what I mean? You just had to be part of another high-profile case. And as fucked up as it is, you put yourself in that position. Now, it's a horrible case. The jury heard the circumstantial render its verdict, manslaughter by her testimony on the stand. Potter will never forgive herself for what happened. That's not good enough for the talking heads of MSNBC and the writers of American Press. Potter is white and Wright is black, so what happened must be racially motivated because must be an injustice, and that puts the entire nation on trial. It has been an excuse to rip up our criminal justice system, and they have. Warrants are ignored, bail is suspended, better criminals victimized, more people have something go wrong while they are resisting arrest. Now, as I've said before, and I'm going to always stick to this, if homie would have complied, if this young man would have complied, 100%. If he would have complied, 100%, he would be alive today. if he did. Now they could call him a career criminal, all the things they want to call him. That doesn't necessarily make him a career criminal. He is only 20, was I think only like 20 years old. He had a whole life ahead of him. He could have turned that shit around, but from the ages he was at to the ages he did not. I mean, this dude allegedly shot one of the people that was supposed to be his homies in the head. And now, the mom had said, in that particular case, that her son had got the best of him in a fight. So Duante righted that wrong, righted that loss, I guess, and shot dude and left him for dead. That's one of the reasons he had got in trouble. That's one of the reasons he was on probation. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons he was facing charges. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that your criminal past has anything to do with what happens to you today, but you can't get mad if the police stop you and want to detain you and you have 5 felonies on your record, or you have a pending case, a violent case. It's different if you a pothead and they pull you over and you know they just busting your balls just to bust your balls. You know what I mean? In the video, in my eyes, in the video, you can clearly see that he was resisting arrest. He was not complying. He put himself and every other officer in danger. He hit someone else on his way after he got shot. He hit someone else. You know, if he would have complied, none of that shit would have happened. That's how I look at that. You can be as mad as you want, but that's how I look at it. If Duante Wright would have complied, he'd be alive today. Kim Potter wouldn't be going to jail, or whatever her sentence is going to be. And best of all, he would still be alive. His family would have been able to celebrate Thanksgiving with him, Christmas, or have him around to at least celebrate it on the phone. I got family in the pen right now calling me on these holidays to talk. Just because you can't be there don't mean you can't call in, baby. I'm just saying. On to the next article. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. Now, this is interesting. Timberview High School shooting suspect Timothy Simpkins arrested again. Department spokesperson said that Simpkins, 18, had been arrested for alleged violation of bond requirements and is now being held at the Tarrant County Jail. Part of Simpkins' bond conditions were to abstain from drug use and not to possess alcohol. Online court records show that a urinalysis drug test came back positive. Although they did not say what the test came back positive for. Now, this young man went into a school and became an active shooter. Had no problem shooting up the school. But they also let him out, let's write it out, on bail. And now he violated, let's go write this out for people, violated violated bail. That's what he did. So motherfuckers cannot act like he done did some good shit. You know what I mean? Now, Tarrant County Jail records indicate that Simpkins was arrested on December 23rd and is still facing 3 charges for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In relation to the October 6th shooting, his bond has been set at a total of $79,500. This is a good question. Why is he not being charged with attempted murder? Premeditated. Let's keep it a buck, man. Let's keep it 100 all day. Why is this young man not being charged with murder? How is that okay? At all, in any sense of the motherfucking word. Keep it 100. You think Ethan, you think they're going to give Ethan aggravated assault charges? They did the same motherfucking crime, shot a fucking school up. This the shit, man. This is wild. Like the New York Post said, tearing up our fucking criminal justice system, letting people out that shouldn't be let out, giving, good example, that shitty rapper that hit all those people in the parade in Waukesha. I can't remember. Daryl Brooks was his name, I think. Whatever the fuck his name was. Let him out on $1,000 bond, and he went out and literally did some more heinous shit. Like, come on, man. You can scream shit's not fair, but at what point you going to be like, okay, I guess, yeah, maybe if people are going to be out committing crimes, anybody out committing crimes, and we let them out, there's a good chance that they might re-offend again, because that's what they were doing beforehand. I'm just saying. Now, do I think the young man should be arrested for smoking some weed? Nope. But you violated your bail. Do I think you should be arrested for drinking some alcohol? Nope. But you violated your bail. Do I think you should have had bail in the first place? Nope. So all I can say here is in anybody's case, black, white, I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't think you should have been on bail. And I think anybody in their right mind would have figured, you know what, they're probably going to violate that somehow. How are you going to deal with the stress that you've brought on yourself, the pressure you brought on yourself, and how are you going to sleep with all the decisions you made that cost people something? And not only that, now your name, your picture, and all that shit's in the newspaper. All over the city. Everybody knows who your mama is, your daddy, your sister, your grandma, your cousin. They know your whole family. You think the people at the school like him? You think they're still homies with him? Fuck no, they not. He shot their school up. And then got out on bail, went home for a couple weeks, smoked some weed, drank some booze, pissed in a cup, and it came back fucking dirty. Well, what'd you think was going to happen? Think they was going to let you skate again? You think that they were going to be able to let you skate again? No, you got your get out of jail free card that the public's going to get mad this time, but we'll let it slide. We'll bite the bullet. Should have let him go out. I'm just keeping it a buck all day. On to the next one. And I think we're going to end it on this because it just shows how fucked up so much of this is. Now, I hope y'all are smoking on some stanky stank. Hope you're drinking on some good drink, and I hope y'all having a merry motherfucking Christmas. Let's jump in this like it owes us some money. Chicago DA Kim Foxx ripped as soft on crime following mall shooting. We already know that she weak on crime because of Juicy Smollett. Period, dog. Come on now. Come on. Now let's get into the article. Kim Foxx, a Democrat who has served as Cook County State Attorney since 2016, has been under fire during Chicago's violent crime surge. Most definitely should be under fire. Same with Lori Lightfoot. The fuck, you guys? I'll never forget reading the article and hearing the alderman say over the phone to Lori Lightfoot, I got dudes walking around with AK-47s looking to settle a score. What do you want me to do? It's crazy what motherfuckers allowed to happen during the George Floyd riots and all of a sudden act like they weren't never going to get no bad press for it. Like it was never come back to bite them. Amazing how many motherfuckers think that they were safe from all the backlash they are getting now for the decisions they made over the last couple of years. Funny, isn't it? And it's disgusting because it's the American people that suffer. It's the people in the cities that suffer from the decisions made by Democrats who take office and pander and lie to the constituents to get them into office and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this all for the community, we're going to help the community this way, that way, every which way we promise. And then when it comes down to actually completing those promises, nothing happens. It's crazy. And it's insane that Kim Foxx, Lori Lightfoot, and so many others have been able to just get away with what they've done to the city and to these cities, to these states, to the country with just, I was doing it for this reason or that reason or the next reason. There's no good reason as to why it was done. It just was done. And yet here we are having to pick up the pieces. A Republican county commissioner lashed out at embattled Cook County State Attorney Kim Foxx for being soft on crime after a mall shooting in his community wounded 4 people and sent holiday shoppers running for safety. I believe this would be called an active shooter situation, would it not? DuPage County is always a county that prides itself on safety as a top priority. Commissioner Pete DeCanny told Chicago's WGN-TV. And a lot of our violent crime has been coming in from the east, alluding to Cook County, compromised largely of crime in Chicago. 2 gunmen opened fire at each other at about 5:45 p.m. Thursday evening at Oak Brook Center in Oak Brook, a DuPage suburb about 15 miles west of downtown Chicago. One suspect, who was not immediately identified, was wounded and taken into custody while cops were still searching for the second shooter. Witnesses told police they heard up to 15 rounds fired.
myself at safety is a top priority, and a lot of our violent crime has been coming in from the east. We have a state's attorney that often does not prosecute the crime as she should. I can tell you that these offenders, speaking on behalf of our state's attorney, will be fully prosecuted. And we need to send a message that we don't tolerate this kind of crime in our county. As a former mayor, right next door, I saw my police officers helping out this community, and we could have had casualties today. We didn't, thankfully, but we cannot allow this to happen in our county and in our fine village of Oak Brook. We pride ourselves on safety, and we will keep that pride and fully fund our officers as we have been and support our officers. We got a chief that's a professional. We had a phenomenal response quickly. Merritt, Elias, Oak Brook, all of our communities came together to take this on. 4 SWAT teams are here.
4 SWAT teams. Now, he said it clear as day. Their prosecutor's going to do what the prosecutor's got to do. People are going to go to jail for shooting up that mall. People are going to regret shooting up that mall. And that's exactly what should happen, 180%. But there's people that think that those people that were shooters should just be able to get away with it. It shouldn't be that big of a problem. It should be that, it's this reason, that reason, this, the way this. No. They decided to go into a mall and start opening fire at each other with everybody else in the middle, supposed to just duck, dodge, and hope to God that these shooters are A1 shooters, when we all know these are no marks fucking men. How many kids got to drop and be gone? How many families got to be ruined, cut short because of shooters that can't fight, can't do nothing about it, can't just talk shit, but can't get hit. You know what I mean? And it's amazing that we live in a country that is so amazing and so great. And you have people that are in charge, elected officials, that go out of their way to be nothing but hellspawn for the communities they're supposed to be serving. And I say it like that because what else do you want to call it? Do you want to say they're doing a good job? You can lie to yourself and tell you they're doing a good job. I won't lie to myself and tell me they're doing a good job. Now, I give props where props are due, but I'm not going to give props to somebody just because they say something. You got to deliver. You got to be about some action. And let's be honest, the Democrats lately, that's a lot of talk. It's a lot of barking. It's a lot of complaining. Now, there's some action in there. Don't get me wrong, but it's normally not by the Democrats you think it's going to be by. Like, how many Republicans expected Joe Manchin to come out and be like, yeah, nah, and then take all that backlash from the fucking left? Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 150. Now, on those notes, you already know what it is. Stay blazed, stay blessed, stay safe. Have a merry motherfucking Christmas. Keep your eye on the news, because during the holiday season, they try to be burying stories, and I think we all know that. Peace.